Hello everybody and welcome to Cheryl Technology Channel. My name is Chris and I'm your host today. And in this one, if this is your first time here, thank you for watching. Welcome to my channel where we do all things tech here. And in this one, we're going to be looking at Docker. This will be a series of videos where I will compare Docker to VMs, and then I will create Dockers in a virtual machine, and then I will migrate that junk over to a physical machine. That's coming way later. That's going to be a long time. I don't have enough knowledge for that yet. In this one, we're going to be looking at Docker, why I like it, why I think it could be the future of because it's a kind of a virtual platform-ish. It kind of is. Now, that's what we're going to look at today. Thank y'all for watching. Let's get right into it. So in this one, what is Docker? That's the question. So it says right here that it's an open platform for developing, shipping, and running applications. So think about this. Developers have a hard enough time already, man. They spend hours and hours trying to get something right, and then only to learn that when they move it to another platform, it doesn't work. Docker solves this problem. They develop it in the container, in the Docker environment. They develop it in that environment, and then they can take and move it from here to here, a completely different platform, and it works perfectly. That's the advantage of Docker. Now, the reason that I started to get into Docker is because I believe Docker has the ability to replace my virtual machine. The ability. I don't know that yet. We're going to be looking at that, though. We are actually going to be looking at that. So my plan, so right now I'm running Proxmox on a little mini computer, and what I'm wanting to do is move it over to Ubuntu, because I think Ubuntu is one of the most stable. Please, Arch users, do not get mad at me. Don't hate on me. Arch is excellent, but so is Ubuntu. I said it right that time. So they're both good platforms, but I believe Ubuntu has a bigger community. I really believe that. The community is much, much larger. Now, it's not because Arch isn't good, because Arch is excellent. It's a great platform. I will admit that it is. But so is Debian. Please don't get mad at me. See my other video about all this stuff. Now, in this one, this is what we're looking at. So Docker, as I said before, the developers can develop it in an environment. Now, there's one thing I'm not sure about. I believe that you can run applications within Docker. That brings me to my next point. So if I believe that what I'm wanting to do is to take a application like Python and run it in a Docker container. What if I could do that? What if I could take all of these applications and run them in a container? Now, there is a platform called Chasm. I have a video on Chasm, actually. And Chasm is it's like a containerized space, and it worked excellent. I mean, excellent. I love Chasm. It is incredible. Okay, so let's just look at it. So this is the Windows desktop. This is exactly what it does. You literally launch it like this, and it launches it in a web browser. It runs in a web browser, which to me seems to be a container. So if you look, boom, done. So that the one good thing about this, so that if it's a containerized system, right, you don't have to have a lot of physical machines to do this. You use a low-powered machine, just barely big enough to do what you need, a Raspberry Pi, and you can run a full Windows desktop in the web browser. That is pretty awesome. If Docker will do this, man, that is pretty sweet if you ask me. So that's kind of where I'm at. Then you saw how fast. Look at this, Linux desktop. And I also learned that when you're doing this, all of these containers are this is beautiful. Oh, I like this. Oh, darn. Chasm OS, here we come. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at with this. So if you can run applications in a container as well as operating systems, that changes the whole entire game. Now, Network Chuck did a video. I watched it this morning at about 6:30 in the morning. I was watching it. Shout out to Network Chuck. I love you, bro. He did a video he's the reason I know about a lot of this stuff. And so he did a video on Docker about the networking fundamentals. He did one on, and you can do all kinds of crazy stuff with this. So that's kind of where this video is leading, this is about Docker itself and what it can be used for. And what I'm going to try to use it for is this. I'm going to try to install virtual machines, or not. I gotta quit saying that. It's not a virtual machine. It's a container. Crap. That's gonna be hard to get out of my system. But I'm gonna take a physical machine. I'm gonna run it in a virtual environment. I'm gonna run it in, everybody, that's my motorcycle. I'm gonna run it in VirtualBox right here on Ubuntu. You can see it right here. I've already got it ready. And I'm going to run that in VirtualBox. I'm going to start it up and see if I can get it to work correctly. So I'll use the virtual machine to do the videos, and then in the background I will use the physical machine running Proxmox to do all the other stuff. to do it in real life, like in an environment that I can actually use it for something because it has a lot more power. Well, not really, because this computer has a lot more power, but that's what I'm saying. If it will do what I think it'll do, if you can run applications and everything, man, I don't know why more organizations aren't doing it. You can spool a Docker container up in like 10 seconds. It is ridiculously fast. So think about that. You're in an environment, in an enterprise environment, and you are building these virtual machines. They take forever to build. Especially if it's a Windows server, it takes a long time to configure, like a domain controller. It takes a long time. There's a lot of configuration involved. But what if you could do the actual spinning up in like 5-10 seconds? Because containers are pre-built with the OS already built. So all you have to do is just spool it up. You go download the image. It pulls it all. It pulls the container in. That's the beauty of it. Is it's a pre-built container. You download the container and run it. That is so freaking awesome, dude. Man, I hope y'all are really going to like this series because I am. This is the coolest crap ever. I've discovered something that one day I was looking and I said, I wonder what the difference between Docker and all these other ones are. Like, what's the difference? Like, I don't know Kubernetes that well. I don't know. There's a lot of them that I don't know that I want to learn because I love to learn things. I hope that each and every one of you will join me on this journey. And in the next video, we are going to be looking at virtualization. Now, containers virtualize the operating system. So think of it this way. You have virtual machines utilize a server hardware and they chop it up into pieces. Whereas a container will chop up the operating system into daemons and it runs services and things in the background. Instead of using the hardware, the operating system it's running on top of the client, the Docker client, or daemon. The Docker daemon is running on top of the Linux kernel. So think about that. It's dividing up the operating system rather than the hardware. And the Linux kernel is doing the dividing up. That is freaking cool. So y'all, I hope that this answers your question. And in the next video, we are going to be looking at virtualization a little closer. We just did a brief overview of Docker and kind of chasm and how it's kind of a containerized space. It's like a streaming platform. It really is freaking cool. I'm gonna do a more in-depth video on chasm because I love this. I love this program. I could see huge benefits for using this in like a large organization. Like it could be really useful. That's kind of where I'm at there, y'all. I really want to take the time to thank y'all for the 271 subscribers that I have right now. My 550, 300 view, however many I got, and almost 1,000 watch hours, man. I would never thought I'd make it this far. And I know that my dad, he believed in me enough to buy me my first computer that I needed to take me to that next level. And then I bought my own that took me to an even further level. So thank y'all for watching. And in the next one, we are going to be looking at VMs a little closer, virtual machines, a little closer to see. That way you can kind of compare and contrast the differences between Docker and VMs and why I want to move toward Docker a little more, because I think it's a lot faster. I think it's a better platform. It's a more useful platform. And I think that in the end, VMs will never go away. But with Docker being a thing, I believe we can minimize VMs. Now, there are a lot of things that I'm going to have to learn in between now and then. And so y'all bear with me, but I'm a pretty fast learner. So I'm going to do my absolute best to learn this stuff because I really want to know it, and then I can put it on my resume. Exactly. That's kind of cool. So everybody, thank y'all for watching. And if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, I implore you, reach out to me at SherylTechnology@gmail.com in the comments or at my email address I just gave you. I will be glad to talk to you, pray with you. I will be glad to debate whatever you want, whatever you need. I will do my best to help you because that is my true mission. And also to help you learn Linux and stuff because I really love that stuff too. And so until the next time, everybody, thank you for watching. May the Lord bless and keep each and every one of you. Until next time. Peace.